where was the idea behind this? Obviously, I only know it as it's a website where you can sign up for $7.99 a month. You've got content on there from British wrestling events, podcasts like my one, hello, and just other stuff. So, what was the idea behind that? Because I'm actually really interested myself to know a bit about Powered4.tv.
Yeah, it's well, it came from there was an old, very similar type of product already out there called Turnbuckle TV, and they'd been going for a couple of years. And I used to, as you're doing now, I was doing for them. Basically, I was a podcast on their platform, and I then got involved with doing a lot of their interviews. So if they had a show on their platform, they'd basically get me in. I'd start doing interviews for them there. They might have exclusive matches to them, etc., etc. So we kind of built a bond over that time. And then last year, in the middle of a pandemic, did we decide to start a business together. And then we incorporated Turnbuckle TV and kind of came together. We have two incredible tech guys that have built the platform itself. They're really good. They kind of work in that industry. They don't really have too much to do with the wrestling side. So that's down to me and Richard, who's like another part of the wrestling part of Powered4.tv.
So have the man himself, Steve Pierce, today to talk a little bit about how they've been using Blazor WebAssembly at Powered4TV and share a little bit about it with us.
First of all, who am I? I'm Steve Pierce. I've got 10 years experience as a software engineer. By day, I'm working as a principal software engineer at MCOPA, but by night or evenings, weekends, I'm co-founder of Powered4TV, which is a platform for watching independent wrestling on demand. And a couple of years ago, my brother-in-law, Rich, came to me with a business idea. He said, we're going to build the Netflix of independent wrestling. And I was like, what? He's like, yep, that's right. We're going to build the best place to watch wrestling shows, see our favorite wrestlers, and we're going to build a real community around it. So I was like, yep, that sounds awesome. Let's do it. So it's around this time that the pandemic started. We decided, actually, let's use this. Like, we know there's not going to be any wrestling shows for a year. Let's use this to reset. So we had John come and join us and Josh join us, and we founded Powered4TV.
Like how long it takes to load. So, how do you balance that as a kind of consumer-facing site with load time and that sort of thing?
I think I know what's coming up, and I'm excited for it, as well as I'm sure folks in the audience will be intrigued as well. 1.1 megabytes is a pretty good size for, basically a fully functional streaming app.
Yeah. So, you compare that to, whatever, Netflix or something else like that, right? You're doing all the video and all that. And the amount that you're downloading for a video, but even for a lot of images, a lot of websites will download megabytes of images, and think nothing of it. So,
and like for our use case, anyway, we're a streaming website, so people are going to be streaming lots of content, but it's pretty fast. So Blazor, I think it's from like the PWA builder, which gives us this nice little fly out pop-up, and this install Powered4, which just effectively links to here.
It's all, that's pay someone else to do that,
Yep, focus on your core product. It's video streaming, so it's a tough feature.
Yeah, and what's nice, like you can do things like chaptering with Vimeo. So it's a few features that we want to build at some point and own this, but for now we don't have to, so we can concentrate on other things.
We have a cool promo video that you sent us over, so we can kind of play that as we end the show up. Awesome. Okay, and here we go with the cool promo video. Bye, everybody.
More importantly, a guy that I hope likes us from Powered4TV, John Scott. John, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure, buddy. My pleasure, and I'm happy to be here, buddy. It's going to be a good one. It's freezing cold in the UK. I have to say that. I know it's like over there at the moment in your neck of the woods, but it's getting really cold here.
Oh, I'm cold. I did something really stupid last night. I turned my heat way down. Just because I was like, man, it's generally, obviously, I'm in Wisconsin, so we're cold anyway, but we've been having a nice, what we would call a heat wave. And there's a couple nights this last week where I'm like, man, I wake up and I'm pretty hot, so I'm kicking off the covers.
Although we're just a streaming service and we do media as well, I kind of feel I have a responsibility to not only the wrestlers, the fans, the fans that subscribe to us, but is also I have to do some digging around and a little bit of research. Now I'm not always in the best possible place to be able to do that. My knowledge on that particular product might be kind of weak, so that can be difficult, but I have eyes and ears in other places that nobody will ever know who they are, because if they did, I wouldn't have them. But these people are very influential in the business. They're very experienced. They're my go-to guys, and they do a very good job at doing due diligence on just anybody. So if I have a name come to me, I have a promotion just starting and they want to do the background checks of business, and have they got any leftover stuff, have they got bad history here? And everybody's got a past, don't get me wrong. You can come to me, you might have done, failed in one aspect of it, but want to give it another go. I'm not going to turn you away, but we have to also be responsible for some of these. It's no good just somebody coming to us and saying, well, we're going to do this, going to do that, and just firing out ideas. Sometimes you have to be very realistic and you have to be brutally honest with people as well. A lot of the times you're managing expectation as well. We have a few people that have come with us and wanted to come with us and been like, well, I want to do pay-per-views, I want to sell it for XYZ. And you have to be, it's difficult because they're very passionate about their product, as I am about mine. So you have to think how that person's going to feel when you say to them, mate, that might not be the case. We might have to slow down, take a couple of steps back, and we'll give you the process of the way forward. And sometimes that can hit people quite hard. Some other people, not so much. They want to learn, they want to grow with you. And I think that's probably the best wording I'd say about us, is that we just want to grow with our promotions. Certain words I keep saying, and it drives me mad. I was like, what am I doing? But over time, I don't know. I just kind of think, you know what, I'm past that now. I don't critique as much, but I tell you, when I first started out, my friend, I was a nervous wreck. I just could not stand even seeing myself. But
a lot of the work I actually do is around autism. So, whether that's speaking at the Houses of Parliament all the way to speaking at universities, schools, you name it, I've probably spoke there, sort of thing. So, and it's all just about raising the understanding of autism. I work mainly with the kind of employment sector, because at the moment there's only 16% of people with autism in full-time work. I mean, that's not changed for 10 years. But alongside the autism work I do, I've also got autism, OCD, ADHD and epilepsy in real life. So for me, it's a kind of trying to raise not only awareness to one, but also trying to raise the awareness to the other conditions as well, and especially with employers and schools, just because schools seem to still have the same way of sort of teaching, and I mean, just in general, like we still learn about Henry VIII, but no one teaches us how to read a payslip or how to write a CV sort of thing.
Right. Yeah. Getcha. Do you feel like sometimes there's enough meaningful things for people to be doing? Like, i.e., one person I supported, he had a job offer, but it was like in I think it was a charity shop, and it was just, for the most part, be folding clothes, putting them back, and then that was it. They didn't get paid. It was a voluntary thing, as well. Do you think but the thing that got me is I knew this person that was doing it didn't find that job meaningful. They liked it for a little while, and then they were like, well, do I need to be here, or could I be doing something I enjoy? You know, and I had to kind of think about it in through their eyes. Like, maybe I'd feel the same. What about for you there, Max? Like, have you seen sometimes like meaningful stuff isn't out there enough for people with disabilities?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You know, I think it's important that we always have obviously high expectations of our young people, you know, because I think the minute us as educators or teachers set that kind of bar a bit low, we're automatically sort of subconsciously doing them a disservice, because you know, these people are capable, and you know, you only got to get them you only got to get them the right job, and there's something that they're really interested in, and you know, they're away, you know. So absolutely, you know, I my first kind of work experience was in a cafe, and I hated it, couldn't stand it, and it was because I was useless at it. Don't get me wrong, the team around me were brilliant, lovely people, but I was just useless at the job. And I said to myself, you know, I don't want to be working in a cafe. You know, not because there's anything wrong with that, but it just wasn't for me. And for some people that would be like, oh, you know, I love it. You know, I've worked here 50 years, sort of thing, and I wouldn't want to do anything else. But for me, I wanted, you know, to do something else, and it was incredibly hard because my school didn't do GCSEs because it was a SEND school. So I left school with no GCSEs. I went to college, and I just luckily got into the course that I wanted. I think, you know, I explained my situation, and they gave me that opportunity to say, actually, normally you'd have to do a foundation course just to get the grades that you want to get into the course you want to do. And they said, we ain't going to do that because it's not fair.
It's giving that opportunity to fail sometimes isn't a bad thing. Like, it's normal. It's kind of part of the life, is that you can't succeed at everything, and failing at things or not enjoying something you think you will, that's just life. But you do get the other side where people can be a little bit too much protective of others, and they don't want to just give that opportunity just in case it goes wrong. And I always think, you know what, if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. I mean, you know, like most things in life, you or I or whatever, there are always things we're going to do that aren't always going to succeed. And that's just part of everyday living. You know, you try and risk assessment and risk manage as best as you can, but you don't want to shut people off from having those opportunities, I kind of feel. But honestly, mate, everything you've said makes perfect sense. I've got to say, you're an amazing speaker for a lot of these things. I want to make sure people, you know, check you out and get you on the show again. Is there anything else you'd like to add just on that front before we just end and talk a little bit about some wrestling, my friend?
We are about the love of pro wrestling. We are the pre-match entrance and the post-match interview. We are the passion. We are the fun. We are Pete Dunne. We are the tricks, the risks, the crunching drop kicks. We are the crowd pleasers, the nail biters, and the risk takers. We are the art in the ring. We are the bright lights. We are the squared circle and the life of the fight. To re-watch our favourite wrestlers' moments. To live and breathe through the eyes of their opponents. We build the vision for you to explore here at Powered4.